Alex and Phoup come together via Discord in order to talk about their podcast, Goku or Go Home. But what revelations will they discover this time? Let's listen in and find out on this episode of Goku or Go Home. That was an intro.
Yeah, that was a really good intro.
Welcome, everyone. The narrator decided to pop in and say, welcome to the show. This is Goku or Go Home. My name is Phoup, and I can say things that Alex can't due to me being a minority.
And I'm Alex. I have privileges.
What is the show? This is an episode-by-episode recap for me, and this will be the first time watching through Dragon Ball, the original series, for Phoup. Get it? Got it? Good. Let's get moving. The last episode was really long. I'm trying to make this one a little shorter. This week we're going to be doing episodes 17 through 20. So that starts off with episode 17, Milk Delivery. And the first thing that I saw in episode 17 was Master Roshi sleeping on his little futon. He's got this alarm clock hanging from the ceiling. And he sleeps with an eye mask on. And he's got these pajamas. And he just likes to pamper himself. But then he pushes the mask up to reveal he still sleeps with his sunglasses on.
I wasn't even surprised. It's like Kakashi taking off his mask to reveal another mask.
It's part of his character now.
Yeah.
Like, it's just who he is. Yes, he's sleeping on the floor with Krillin on this futon, who kicks him in the side. And we pan to the other room, where Goku is asleep in an actual bed with Launch. And it made me realize, did Roshi give up his actual bed to Launch? Or did, like, blonde Launch threaten Roshi to let her have it? I don't know how this exchange took place. Or maybe he's just trying to, like, simp for her. Like,
I think it's just part of the Roshi plan.
Oh, he's trying to be like, oh, see how nice I am?
Why bring Launch to the bed when she's already there?
All he has to do is sneak on in. Goku kicks the blankets off of him, so Launch tucks him back in and gives him a goodnight kiss. And she even like concerns herself, like, oh, what if I sneeze in my sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Though I don't want that to happen to Goku. And I just really like Blue Launch. She's a kind person. She thinks about other people. She's worried about how dangerous she can be herself. I like her. One of a kind.
Very self-aware character, you know. I just really like that she's there and she's kind of fitting the role as the soft, kind older sister, or even mother maybe for like Goku, because I appreciate the nice things she does after what Roshi puts these two through. I
think they need it. I do think that they need a little pampering themselves.
Yeah.
The narrator says that their first day of Turtle Hermit training is the next day, and it'll be filled with hard work and danger, just in time for Launch to sneeze. The alarm goes off, and Roshi starts getting ready for the day and says, Krillin, it's time to get up. Early bird and the worm, and, well, you know the saying, right?
I love that so much about him, because I have a terrible memory. I can barely remember phrases myself. My buddy yesterday even had to correct me. I'm like, yeah, remember that one person we played with? That person was such a negative nanny, and he's like, it's negative Nancy. Is it? Whatever the phrase is, she was negative.
It makes me wonder what the scripting was, especially for Roshi himself, because any time that he starts mumbling to himself, it's always hilarious. He's like, oh yeah, did that, and then there were two for you, and something, yeah. And it always gets a laugh out of me.
It's just really relatable. It's just the memory you're speaking.
Oh yeah. It's that, what's that one meme of the really high guy that can't remember things? Like, he'll do hand towel as, like, mini body towel or something. It's like, oh, do you have any, like, mini body towels for my hands?
You mean wash rags, sir?
Yeah, whatever. Also, Roshi wears pure white briefs for underwear. I don't know what I was expecting, like maybe tropical boxers or something, but I'm just like, yeah, Roshi wears pure white briefs, okay. I'm glad we have this information.
Could have been like just the typical like hearts.
Ooh, heart boxes.
You know? Yeah.
Heart boxes would have been good for Roshi too.
That's a pair I usually always see in like anime and shows and stuff, you know. Cartoons.
A cartoon
It's
character.
very iconic, yeah.
Yeah, they lose their clothes and they're just in heart print boxers.
I think the first time I saw it was Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually seen heart print boxers in real life? Because I don't think I have.
No, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I've never seen it. So I'm assuming it's just like a cartoony thing, I guess.
Must be.
It's a show thing.
It's psychological. You see Master Roshi in heart print boxers and you think, oh, love. I'm in love. So that's why they had to do it. Keep people safe. Roshi leaves to wake up Goku, complaining that he should be the one sleeping with Launch, but her mood swings prevent him from doing so. And because he can't creep on her, he looks through the keyhole to gawk at Launch while she's asleep. And you get the whole sexy saxophone music playing, and he starts like laughing to himself like he's that crazy old prospector thinking about gold. Love that character trait. They tried to soften the blow of, like, you know, his perving out by having him think about what she wears to bed while she sleeps, while he strips the blankets off of her. And I think, like, this is an attempt of censorship. Like, they're trying not to have the character say, "Ooh, I'm gonna grope up on her while she sleeps." Yeah. I think I told you I looked up a list of censorship for a few of the previous episodes, and how they would like draw in a flower or
talked about censorship in general. Yeah.
They would draw in a flower so they just don't have Goku's junk on frame. So I wonder if that had something to do with it too.
Yeah, for this episode, you're going to have to remind me about some details. For these set of episodes, I literally just turned off my brain. I just watched it. And just laughed at whatever just made me laugh.
A lot of the episodes in this set were really fast. Like,
yeah,
a lot of stuff happened in not a lot of time. They really compressed 8 months worth of antics into 4 episodes. Either way, he finds Launch, who is blonde, sleeping, and freaks out because blonde Launch might be one of the strongest characters on the current team. Like, nobody wants to fuck with her.
Yeah, very dangerous. Obviously, probably couldn't kill them, but doesn't mean it won't hurt.
Hey, if even Master Roshi's afraid of a gun, then sure. Master Roshi pokes Goku in the head with a broom, and his head sounds like an empty coconut sound, like it goes gunk gunk when he like pokes at it.
I like how he's like trying to whisper to Goku to wake up. Like, Goku, stop training.
he doesn't want to wake Launch. But of course, that doesn't do anything when Goku wakes up and loudly proclaims, "Good morning!" And that wakes up Launch. She wants to know what everyone's doing in their bed, and I love Goku's just innocent response of, "I slept here, sir."
I actually thought that blonde Launch was going to actually be okay with Goku sleeping in bed with her.
I think she's not there, obviously, because she gets upset about it, but...
Yeah, no, it was before she got upset, because, like, she did sneeze, but I didn't think about, like, she probably sneezed in her sleep, so blonde Launch was probably still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what made me think that she probably saw Goku as, like, a little brother, and it's like, oh, it's just a kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see it happening if she sneezed before she fell asleep and then went to bed.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I think the surprise of finding a little monkey boy... Well, he doesn't have a tail anymore. Finding a little boy in the bed. She keeps... Yeah. She keeps finding, like, Master Roshi appearing. Like, from her perspective, is it just Master Roshi appears?
He's always there, actually, yeah.
Anytime that she sneezes, he's just there.
Every time he's not there, blonde Launch isn't there.
Yep. Launch keeps a gun under her pillow and calls Goku a little hedgehog, and there's this whole sequence of her grabbing the gun and shooting at Goku, and it's super well animated. Like, the camera follows the gun in her hand to where it's pointed at Goku, and I'm just like, why did they do this sequence like this? It's really good.
I guess just to make it more threatening, I guess.
It's dynamic for sure.
I was paying more attention to where the bullets were landing.
I have written down, Goku manages to dodge 5 bullets, but is beamed in the head by the 6th, and his evasion abilities are getting better. Because if I might remind everyone, in episode 1, he took all 6 of those bullets to the dome.
He took the whole mag dump.
Just emptied the clip, but now he's getting better. You can actually plot how good Goku's getting by his ability to dodge gunfire. Goku actually retaliates and kicks Launch in the face. Like, he lays her out on the floor, and she's just, like, sprawled out, and she's got the goofy, cross-eyed, open mouth, missing a tooth expression. Yeah. Good shit.
I mean, he's had enough. Especially when it was, like, I guess, for some reason, he took being shot this time as being mean.
Yeah, he goes, hey, that wasn't nice. Kick.
What did he felt when he got shot by the others?
Well, he didn't know it was bad before.
That makes sense. Maybe this time it actually hurt.
Yeah. Maybe it was a little closer, so, I don't know how guns work. Would that have a big impact? Anyway, Roshi took refuge in a dresser drawer.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
How did he fit in there? Like, the drawer just pops open, and then you see his hands come out, and he lifts his head up, and he's just like, it's the bottom drawer. There's not enough room for your old ass. Old ass!
He wasn't wearing the shell.
He was not wearing the shell. Maybe you could curl up.
Yeah.
He does say that you shouldn't be so rough with the ladies. They need a more gentle touch, as he's about to, like, cop a feel on her.
Grandpa Gohan even told him that, too.
Yep. You have to be more gentle with the ladies. But Goku's eager to train, so Launch continues to be safe.
Yeah.
Once outside with the boys, Roshi lays down the law about learning martial arts. They do not pick fights, or try to impress girls who will say, oh, Beefcake, you're so strong, I want you. Which, I mean, are the only 2 rules to live your life by.
But I really like those words, because even though I haven't watched the later, like, Dragon Ball Z stuff, it follows. It follows. At least for Goku.
Everything that Roshi says actually holds merit.
Uh-huh.
And as you're watching him, you're just like, oh, he's just a dirty old man, or he's just pawning off these kids to do menial labor. But it's all in service of stuff. And I make a note of this later on, but I really do like this aspect of Roshi's character, where, he's a goof, but he's right.
He's not a master for nothing, you know?
Yeah, that's it. He makes a long, convoluted speech about fighting that essentially boils down to, we learn how to fight, so we don't have to. And Goku can understand that much, even if Krillin is surprised that he doesn't need pictures. He's like, wow, you didn't need pictures to understand that, okay.
It was pretty funny, but that was, kind of a bastard move.
Krillin does ease up over the course of these episodes.
I actually really like how Krillin develops, and you kind of learn more about him on why he's so determined. And
why he's such a bastard.
Yeah.
It's that nature versus nurture. He was brought up a bastard, and so... But we can get to that part.
Yeah.
Turtle Hermit training warms up with a brief run, and all 3 guys tuck in their arms, and they lean back while they run, and it's just a really good, goofy-looking run. As the sun's coming up, they're, like, running in a field, and they're all in a straight line, and they're just, like, Pikmin marching, almost. They go to a milk building, where a goat man is stacking milk crates.
I got scared.
I mean, every once in a while, Dragon Ball...
I saw the milk side. I saw a goat man.
It's his milk.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything. Like I said, I had my brain off, but my brain was stimulated.
Every once in a while, Dragon Ball will just blindside you with some animal dude. I don't think I ever expected a goat man.
I liked how he spoke.
Yeah, he would occasionally go, meh. But I got a helicopter. Yes, the goat has a helicopter, which he normally uses to deliver the milk.
Yeah.
And I had to stop here and think. So nobody has a fridge to store more than 1 day's worth of milk, but they have a helicopter to deliver said milk.
I mean, Master Roshi has a fridge.
I know, he's got a fridge, but no one else on the island has a fridge. Whatever.
If I had to think about it, I don't know. Maybe it was like Asia where they had to use an icebox. I remember my mom talked about that growing up.
So everyone still had an icebox back in the 80s?
Yeah, something like that. I was still scared
of the goat?
Where's the milk? Of the milk. And the goat. And I was like, does the goat have a wife? I was like, I hope the goat at least has a wife.
There's a great scene in Psychonauts 2 where you meet a character making pancakes, and they're like, you used all these expired ingredients to make pancakes? And she's like, oh no, that would be awful. I used a lot of substitute ingredients. And you can look over and she like puts dirt into the pancake mix, and then he looks over again and there's a goat in the back, and he goes, where did you get the milk? And she stops and she looks at him, and then he says, from the goat? And she looks back at the goat and she goes, oh, that would have been easier. Good fucking scene.
Psychonauts?
Psychonauts 2.
I didn't know I've never played it, but I never thought Psychonauts would have like this kind of comedy.
Oh, it's filled with this kind of comedy.
Oh,
it's so good. I recommend it wholly. What are we talking about? Dragon Ball. That's what we're talking about.
We're talking about substitutes.
So we're talking about Krillin and Goku having to deliver milk on foot to every house on the island. And the first delivery is 3 miles away, and they will be skipping the whole way there. Keep in mind, this is what Roshi called taking it easy.
I literally thought they were going to skip the town, like past it.
Fuck those guys, they don't get their milk.
And then I freaking saw them just skipping. I'm like, I should probably turn my brain on. Nothing added up. I was like, how are they gonna skip 3 miles without doing the 3 miles?
Hey, you said that you had your brain off while you were watching these episodes. I had my brain on. I was in note-taking mode, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna skip 3 miles," and I'm like, I thought the same thing. You can't just skip 3 miles. No, they're literally skipping 3 miles. And I like Roshi's skip. He's got his hands on his hips, and he's hopping along, chanting, skip 2, 3, 4, skip 2, 3, 4.
I mean, I bet it's a legit workout, I guess. They always made us do it in gym class in school.
Oh, your daily frolicking? The whimsy! They're in about half mile already, and Krillin's starting to feel it. He was so confident last time, and it's kind of nice to see him being humbled at this point. Because, he was still being a jerk. Up to this point, he was still kind of being a jerk. Like, oh, this is easy. I could do this in my sleep. And then, like, half a mile in, he's like, fuck, this was a mistake. And then for 2 miles, they're going to zigzag between some trees the entire time. And Goku doesn't know what zigzagging is. I should make a list, go through all my notes, and be like, what doesn't Goku know? This will be a long list. Krillin tries to take shortcuts, the same way he tried to cheat with the stone with the Turtle Hermit symbol on it. But you can't pull one over on Master Roshi. There are no shortcuts in Turtle Hermit training. No. He's always aware. They cut back from commercials, and I was just really admiring the backgrounds in this episode. The sun is this really nice pink, and the sky is a really good pastel pink to blue gradient. The watercolor mountains are always looking good. It's just, you don't see this kind of stuff in cartoons too often anymore. Maybe, like, Samurai Jack is the last example of a cartoon that had just really, really good backgrounds that I saw.
I would agree with that as well. But Samurai Jack was probably the first show to give me an epilepsy as a kid.
Oh yeah, Samurai Jack, it's pretty good. It gave me epilepsy, but it was good.
I used to tie my hair back like that, like Samurai Jack, so that's what they called me for a while with my buddies, yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't because you were Asian?
It was part. It was part of it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was just everything about Samurai Jack.
So, Phoup, how long ago was that?
More than a year ago, maybe 2. I want to say.
Okay, so tying your hair up in a ponytail and, like, pulling on the follicles was not what made you start to lose your hair.
No. No. At one point, I just really grew up my hair and just got too lazy to cut it, so I just tied it.
I can remember when your hair was getting longer, like it was getting in your eyes.
Yeah. It was about a little bit longer than that, I would say, like to my nose.
Oh, okay.
But now it's like I just pretty short now.
All right. Krillin's really struggling to keep up, and Master Roshi's just being an ass in the best way possible. Like, literally at every opportunity to twist the knife, he takes it. They're going for a 3-mile run? Skip it. 2 more miles? Zigzag it. Done running? Climb a billion stairs up a mountain. Fuck you, Krillin. I just expect him to be, like, riding on top of his head. Like, he's just sitting on there, and, like, every once in a while, he'll just, like, whack him or spit on him or something. Just like, fuck you, you little bald bastard. Goku's handling it a lot better, but the one time you hear his thoughts, he looks fucking pissed because he wants to drink the milk. He's like, they won't let me drink the milk. That's fucking bananas.
Wait. Did I forget when they already delivered some of the milk, right?
Yeah, by this point they're up the mountain, or they're climbing up the mountain, and yeah, they have delivered some of the milk.
Because there was one where they're like, oh, here's some milk, laddie, for delivering it, and Goku will take the drink, but then Master Roshi hits him. Is like, you fool! You can't just drink the milk you came to deliver.
Yeah, that's at the top of the mountain. He's just like, oh, you look thirsty. Here, have a sip. And he's like, oh, thanks. And then, yeah, whack. That's not yours.
That's something I probably would have done as a kid, to be honest.
You need incentive. Yeah, Goku starts to slow down, and we get this utterly baller shot of Master Roshi smoking this long-ass pipe on the top of a mountain. He's looking real sagely and wise, and god damn, Master Roshi is a fucking Chad. He's just awesome.
For when he can be, yeah.
Anytime you get these shots of, he's sitting cross-legged, there's like a stone pile that he's stacked, and he's sitting on top of that, and he's just, smoking this long pipe, making these perfect circle rings come out. How can the ladies stay off of him? Roshi bolsters Goku's spirit and gives us a bit of dragon lore by telling him that Ox King and Grandpa Gohan made these same deliveries and never complained. And you can just see the light return to his eyes, and you feel good about the whole exchange because, like, Goku likes to learn about his grandpa, and he needs more of this. He needs closure. Grandpa Gohan died before the show even began. As Goku leaves to reach the top of the mountain, Krillin comes up, and Roshi, just to be an ass, because it's shit on Krillin Day, says, good job, you're about halfway there. And Krillin just looks like he wants to die.
Yeah, this is the most, like, depressed I've seen Krillin. It pays off, though.
Yes, it does.
It pays off.
Yeah. At the top of the mountain, a monk comes out and chats up Master Roshi, and he says, Krillin and Goku show great promise, and that they might be even good enough to enter the World Martial Arts Tournament, which is a Dragon Ball staple. If you've ever played a Dragon Ball game, there's usually a World Martial Arts Tournament stage, and it's always a great location. It's like one of the best levels in every game, because they have tournament rules for that level and that level only, usually.
Really?
Yeah, like, you can fly around in Dragon Ball fighting games, and it's usually no big deal. But if you're flying around and you get hit out of the sky and land out of the ring, you'll get counted as knocked out.
That sounds hella fun.
Yeah, it's usually the best stage.
I kind of want to play that.
The tournament is only 8 months away, And not only that, but it's held only once every 5 years. And they're really hyping up this tournament. They're saying, like, only the best of the best go there. And we get to see some participants, like a boxing gorilla, a big karate man, a dinosaur man, the usual suspects. Like, anytime they say, we're in Dragon Ball World, show off some Dragon Ball dudes. You usually get, like, an animal person, a karate guy, and then a dinosaur.
An animal person doing karate.
Yeah.
I think the one I couldn't recognize at first was a literal dragon.
So, yeah, the last person that they show as being a participant in one of these tournaments is literally just the Godzilla character Baragon. And I was like...
Is that who it was?
That was Baragon. I was like, no way. No, that's Baragon.
Let me see this.
You gotta look up Baragon. Baragon.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yeah, Baragon's here.
I searched up like the oldest version of him too. That's pretty cool.
I always like seeing cameos of things or just like blatant copyright infringement. Like they had Baby Gamela in that other episode. Good shit.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
that was my favorite one so far.
Master Roshi says that they can enter if they're diligent, but not with the intent to win, because that would be arrogant, and arrogance is for fools, not warriors. Master Roshi's dropping all kinds of life lessons on these dudes, and they got this sagely undertone to them. And, like, for a hard-up old man, he's pretty good. This old dude's down bad, and he's dropping good life lessons.
I would be down to just chill on the beach with Roshi and just listen to his life.
I'd read the Master Roshi book. In a really cool cutaway, the narrator reminds us that someone else is practicing for the tournament, Yamcha. And it's always cool to check in with the other half of the gang. Yamcha's in this dojo, and he's just smoking these karate dudes. Like, there's like 20 guys, and he's just kicking all their asses, and from the window, Bulma, Puar, and Oolong are watching. And you get this big, I don't know how much of wrestling that you know, but this huge guy with a mustache that Yamcha goes up against in this dojo. He looks like the Iron Sheik, who's an old wrestler, but he's got like this thick Italian accent.
Yeah, I was more focused on the accent. And I was like, have I heard this type of accent before on this type of character?
So he's like,
I was kind of thrown off.
He does the whole, like, what's the matter with you, kinda.
It was the mustache, it was the accent.
And he was big, too.
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was because I was just thinking about the Armstrong from...
Full Metal Alchemist?
Full Metal Alchemist. But he doesn't talk like that.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, this guy's huge, and he just gets knocked over with one strike of the Wolf Fang Fist. Puar says that he'll win the tournament for sure, but Bulma and Oolong are like, well, yeah, but I'm sure Goku will be there. And Puar just gets really defensive about Yamcha. She's like, Goku fucking sucks! Yamcha's the only one who can...
I'm actually surprised I've seen Puar like acted like that. I thought, but then again, Puar is a good friend regardless.
Mm-hmm. I have a note later on down the road, but there's a part of me that wonders if there's something more to Puar and Yamcha's relationship. But we'll get to that. We cut back to Roshi's...
Could mean anything.
It could. It could be. We cut back to Roshi's training, and we find the boys marching over a perilous pit, going through a desert of quicksand, wading through a river by a waterfall, and running from dinosaurs.
It's always good to see those guys again.
You know, I'm not shocked anymore by dinosaurs, but they always leave you with just enough time between dinosaur sightings that you go like, oh yeah, dinosaurs, fuck yeah, man.
I played enough Ark Survival.
Yep.
To know what happens.
Once their deliveries are complete, Master Roshi congratulates the boys and says that they'll be doing this every day for the next 8 months as their early morning training, which then leads into mid-morning training.
Crushed my soul.
Roshi cannot be stopped with this training regime. He's just like, oh yeah, you look real tired and worn out. Well, time to move on to the next part of your training. And that's how they close out the episode, like, oh yeah, Roshi's training's hard ass. There's more, by the way. The day's not even done.
The morning's not even done.
Yeah, exactly.
And only thing I was able to compare that to was school. I'm like, man, it feels like an hour. Look at the clock, it's been 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, dude, Jesus.
And you're sitting there and you raise your hand and say, Master Roshi, when am I going to use this in my actual life? Episode 18 is The Turtle Hermit Way, which gives us a clock at the very beginning, like in the top left corner of the screen. And it says 4:30 a.m., which is disgusting. That's when the boys do their milk run. I can't even imagine being awake. I can imagine being awake at 4:30 because I was up the previous night until 4:30.
Man, my sleeping schedule has been kind of whack as of lately, so that's when I've been going to sleep. So I know what it's like going to sleep at 4:30 and waking up at 4:30. I prefer waking up.
Really?
It is a little more. Yeah, I actually do. For some reason.
Well, I suppose anytime that I've woken up early, I've always sent out emails, done work, and by the time I usually get done and would see that the clock says 4:30 p.m., I look over and it says 11 a.m. and I'm like, what the fuck? I've got so much day left.
It's a great feeling though.
I won't deny that, but I just hate waking up.
Yeah, true enough. Me and my grandma, we've been spending the days kind of similar as of lately. My grandma would come downstairs like, hey, you just wake up? I'm like, yeah. It's 6 p.m. I'm like, you? Yeah. I just woke up. I just came to check up on you. I'm going back to sleep. That was just today. Just yeah, it's so fucking cold. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
There is nothing better than when you're just super fucking tired. Maybe you've been asleep for 8 hours. You wake up, you look around for a hot second, you go, you know what? No. And then you fall back asleep.
That's why I'm worried about my grandma being bored as hell. I feel like setting up a TV in her room. I don't know if that's a good or bad idea, but she's always I feel like when she's bored, she just sleeps. And
she's just conserving energy.
Oh man. But it's just really funny because we've been doing this for the past week.
just checking up on you.
Yeah, she would go down the stairs and it's about 10 steps, That's her daily exercise.
She goes down the 10 steps. It takes her a half hour.
Then she goes back up and goes back to sleep.
Well, she's worn out by that point.
Oh, yeah.
The narrator goes over their training routine pretty quick. He even gets a jab in on Krillin. He's like, oh yeah, it helps test endurance, which Krillin sucks at. And we get to see people from all over the place preparing for this tournament coming up. We see an entire dojo training, a man in the woods. He's got no shirt on, he's got a real big beard, he's just chopping down trees. Single swing of the axe kind of thing, just real strong. And a guy in a boxing ring doing over 200 one-handed push-ups. Looking real fierce. Goku and Krillin are worn out from their early morning exercises, and Roshi tells them that they gotta sack up and do their mid-morning exercises, which is agriculture. And yeah, this is where I was like, it kind of just looks like Roshi's pawning off them for free child labor, so his friends around the island don't have to work.
I didn't doubt Master Roshi.
No, you shouldn't.
But it does seem like that.
At a glance, yes, it does seem just oh yeah, these kids will work faster than any tractors. Hooey! Roshi says, "Come on, boys, it's time to get dirty."
I love it when he announces when it's time to get to work.
Time to get dirty.
Come on, boss.
It's just, he says it in a way that a horny old man really shouldn't be saying it.
Okay. I didn't think of it like that, but you're not wrong either.
Their job for agriculture is to till the hills with their bare damn hands to work the strength and dexterity of their fingers. And it's all very Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid, you know, wax on, wax off style of every chore teaches them to do something or trains a different part of their body in an unconventional, yet very effective way. I've made the comparison before of Goku being like a dog.
Yeah.
But seeing him dig in the dirt with his hands just really sells the idea.
I know. Did you notice how the Goku was like digging forward while Krillin was like digging backwards?
Yep.
There's like it made me actually think which way was more efficient.
You started thinking about the logistics of hand farming.
Yeah. Because back when I was a kid, my grandma still likes to garden in her backyard, but I used to dig around in the dirt like that myself.
Yeah.
It's just really funny because I keep saying the more I watch Goku, the more it reminds me of myself with the shit that I've done. And digging in the dirt was literally me.
Just digging through the dirt, taking your pants off.
Yeah. No, there was one time where man, my grandma, she doesn't stop bringing it up, but she said that I was a pain in the ass to race. Because I think there was one time as a kid, kind of remember it, kind of don't wanna, where I did just run.
You're repressing the memories.
where I actually did run around outside as a butt naked like Goku, just fucking streaking.
You know, running around naked, slapping old ladies in the crotch.
Oh, I didn't go that far. Eventually, my grandma knew that she couldn't really stop it, so the least she did was put on some underwear for me.
You know, at a certain point, you just gotta chain the kid down like he's some dog on a leash. As long as they don't run away, that's what you gotta count your blessings, right?
Well, I fucking did. Those backyard fence didn't contain me.
That's why they implanted that chip into you that shocked you whenever you got too far.
Giving me that bike as a kid was probably their worst mistake, too.
Goku and Krillin till the entire goddamn countryside, it seems. All while Master Roshi is just sitting back, smoking that pipe, being
chilling
cool.
with the farmer.
Yep,
yeah.
Chilling with the farmer. I guess they don't actually do the entire countryside, though, because immediately after that, Roshi says that the amount of land that they're going to work will increase every day. And I'm just thinking, what island are they on that has this infinitely expanding mass? Like, we saw it in the last episode. The island, it has a town, a jungle, a mountain, a desert, waterfalls, lakes, all this shit. And yet Goku was able to give it like a once-over on the Nimbus as soon as they arrived. He was just like, yeah, I saw the island. It's neat. It's small. Whatever. It's got biomes like it's a Minecraft level.
I actually really do appreciate that. It's really cool.
You do get varied environments for them to do all these things.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's because, like, after watching a little bit of Naruto, there's some scenes that get a little bit tiring, you know? It's always in the forest. But Naruto does have some pretty cool arena areas.
It always makes me wonder, because you just know that Naruto was inspired by Dragon Ball. You know, like, the character is blonde like Goku is Super Saiyan, with an orange outfit like Goku has, and they have all these, I assume, they have tournaments and arenas and stuff. And it makes me wonder, like, well, everything gets inspired by something else. Like, there's no original idea. So maybe Naruto was inspired by some of the tournament fights in Dragon Ball, or, you know, there's other things.
What about Supersonic and the 7 Chaos Emeralds?
That is totally based off of Dragon Ball. I once heard someone try to, like, spin it around, like, Dragon Ball was inspired by Sonic. No, not even close. The timeline does not match up that way. The 7 Chaos Emeralds, Supersonic, the 7 Dragon Balls, Super Saiyan? No, not even close.
I remember having to discuss, like, a little bit off topic here, but it was a pretty funny discussion in the development of Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, I haven't played that game for 10, maybe more than 10 years since it came out or whatever. But I remember trying to explain to my cousin how Shadow was made. I'm like, yeah, I think they just injected alien blood into a hedgehog, and that's how Shadow became. or that's what the gist of it was like. I was like, yeah, they kind of just did some bio projects with alien blood and a hedgehog. And my cousin was like, hold up. Like, he had his hands up, like, like, so you're telling me they injected alien blood into a hedgehog? And I'm like, let's just roll with that.
It's been a while since I've played Shadow the Hedgehog, and I also played it when it came out. But
I don't know.
I want to say it was some sort of genetic soup that they just could not get right. And the alien DNA that they injected into it helped stabilize it and keep it alive. So I think that's what it was. But you're not wrong with saying they injected a hedgehog with alien blood DNA. That is a primary element of it.
Like, that, the whole storytelling in that game is just a whole shit show.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's a mess. Like, there's a bunch of YouTubers out there who will talk about it, but it's just a shit show because nothing adds up.
You know what else is a shit show? Our ability to talk about Dragon Ball. Launch has made a big ol' meal for the boys, and I love the gag that they do when they all sit down. She says, "Let's all say our grace first before we dig in," and they all quickly pray and say, "Our grace first," before picking out. And I'm like,
and
yes!
Pretty sure you and I know was probably their way of saying, what do they say before they eat? Itadakimasu or something?
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
They're like, yeah, we don't want to have him say that. So there's let's say our grace first. Our grace first.
Look at these delicious donuts.
Jellyfill is my favorite. Krillin, being the goof that he is, reaches for the pepper and seasons his food a bit, but Roshi warns him, "No, not the pepper! She's a landmine!" But it's too late, and Launch sneezes and transforms into Blonde Launch, and chases Roshi and the boys out of his own home, calling them cowards.
I felt really bad. Like, these guys cannot catch a break. Roshi cannot catch a break even in his own house.
It's his own house. He's pent up. He will continue to be pent up and horny. And he cannot get anything done.
And the food looked amazing, actually.
It did.
I really would have enjoyed that. So I was a little bit upset that Blonde Launch kind of shot up the food.
Roshi says that they'll go out to eat, and they cut to a restaurant, and everyone's just eating like complete animals. And Goku sneezes. And Master Roshi and Krillin are so conditioned at this point that they run into the corner and they cower. It's like what's that called? A Pavlovian response.
Yeah. And now you got it, yeah. It's fear.
They will literally die.
If you hear a sneeze, it's associated with a gunshot.
After eating, Roshi sets up a chalkboard, and this is what I was talking about that one time where he's going to teach Goku and Krillin some common sense and other brain training. And I've said it once, and I'll say it again. He might be a dirty old man, but he's a master for a reason. He says, "A strong body is pointless unless you know how to use it, and that takes brain power." And Goku complains, he goes, "Oh, but I don't have that."
The Wonder Boy finally has a weakness.
Yep.
That's great. There's something along the lines of that Krillin mentions. I'm like, yeah, it'd be. I don't know.
He's not a Gary Stu.
Yeah, I'm glad that Goku has weaknesses. I like strong characters, but I don't like them to be perfect. If you know what I mean.
He's strong. He's nice to a fault.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dumb as a bag of potatoes.
Oh yeah, a rock eater. I think this is why I really like the character design, because no one is really perfect. You obviously know that Roshi is very strong, but he has like certain limits, you know.
Oh, he's got his vices for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. I remember having this discussion before where flaws can make a character. That's why when we talk about superheroes, I never say Superman is really my perfect, even though his weakness is kryptonite. I feel like it's not that strong, that big of a weakness. Still,
I like Superman, and they make the comparison that Goku is kind of like Japan's version of Superman.
but Superman's not stupid.
My big problem with Superman is a lot of the most popular renditions of Superman is, yes, him being perfect. And Superman's not perfect. He's not invincible. He shouldn't be invincible, and there's a lot of media that has him just being a really nice, strong guy, kind of like Goku. And I'm like, it's great. But you're right. When Superman's perfect, he's boring. And if I wanted to tank my online popularity, I could just say my true feelings, which is Zack Snyder is a hack, and he can't write good superheroes. Because Superman is awful in Justice League.
I've never really watched too much of that, so I can't really say much. But like, I was just using Superman as an example, and you kind of basically explained how I felt, how they portrayed him.
Yeah.
I guess saying kryptonite isn't that much of a weakness. It's still a bit too much, because it literally shuts him down. But, yeah.
Goku is not Superman, no matter how many people will try to make the comparison that he is.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say my appreciation with these character designs, you know.
They start reading some of Roshi's books, in which Goku reads out loud. And I had to write this down.
Oh my god.
He says, and I'm going to try to replicate it, "Oh, Susie, that tickles. What if they find us here?" said Bill. But Susie did not stop holding his foot lightly in her hand. And I was just floored. Shocked beyond compare, really. Goku can read?
What? That's what you were shocked about? I was like just kind of doing the good old school scene, you know, and I was like, as he was reading, I was like, what are you reading? What are you making them read, Master Roshi? But you made me realize how much more this meant.
Thought I'd throw you for a loop there.
He can read.
All that shit. Dumb as a sack of bricks, doesn't know anything about the world, and he can read. Truly, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Krillin does some math, and I really liked his bit too. He goes, and that would mean that X equals... wait, how do you spell X? And I'm like, yeah, these are some fun, dumb kids.
I really... That gave me a kick. I thought it was just going to be like kind of like a little filler scene. Man, I love that scene.
They break for lunch, and Krillin and Roshi are super on edge about Launch potentially sneezing, and they get 2 fake-outs. Like, these guys are gonna have a heart attack. 12:30 rolls around, and the boys lie under some trees in their hammocks, and Master Roshi says that the next hour will be a nap. He says, "Work hard, study well, and eat and sleep plenty. That's the Turtle Hermit way to learn." And it's at times like these where Master Roshi just seems like a genuine grandpa. Like, he can be a nice old man when he's not being a horny old man.
I think it's just when it's necessary, you know? Mm-hmm. The way of the hermit. Time for the resting time, yeah. Yeah. Follows that philosophy. Where is the turtle?
I made some notes about that. I do have questions.
It just hit me.
Goku worries that while they sleep, someone else out there is going to get stronger than them. But Roshi reminds them that everyone needs to sleep, and we get a cute little cutaway montage of the people that were training for the tournament, and they're all sleeping. Nobody's invincible, nobody's constantly fighting, constantly training. Even the strongest dudes need a nap. Mid-afternoon training is next, and Roshi and the boys are working construction to work on their balance and muscle size, and to earn money on the side. The foreman talks about a salary, so I honestly think that this part is totally Roshi just grifting for spare cash. If nothing else, this part is just him getting money.
I mean, when you've been ransacked by a child, I'm pretty sure it's not cheap.
Feeding Goku, there is a line in a much later episode where everyone's going out to eat. They go to a restaurant, and Goku eats like Goku does, and they get a bill, and it's like thousands and thousands of dollars. And Roshi's like, that's all the money I have. And he spent it on one night. But yes, he needs that money.
I didn't realize how expensive it is to feed a large dog until I watched YouTube videos and stuff. Holy cow. It made me question if I wanted a big dog.
Gotta stick
For
with
example,
the small
Goku.
One. Goku turns into a big dog. We get to see Goku shoveling in a hard hat. Goku looks weird in a hard hat.
I thought it looked pretty cute.
You just expecting him, or, you know, he's got that iconic hair shape that's kind of like Mickey Mouse ears, you know, anywhere he turns, he's got that hair. So seeing him not with that hair looks a little weird. They're running back and forth like it's a Scooby-Doo bit, you know, how they're like, oh, we gotta run over here with the wheelbarrow, and we gotta run over here with the mound of dirt, we gotta run back over. And yeah, they're going back and forth like it's Scooby-Doo, and there's this one, like, big tough guy. He goes, the white voice just keeps getting younger. These guys need to unionize. Roshi goads them to work even harder and faster, talking about the tournament. When he brings it up, they cut loose and start running faster than the trucks.
Oh, man, I mean, when you gotta be in the tournament, you gotta be better than construction machines.
He's like, yeah, you're never gonna make it to the tournament if you're moving that slow. And they're like, oh, fuck you, old man.
I legit thought they were just gonna speed up every scene, like 100 times speed.
Just play it in fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is where we get this sudden introspection on Krillin's backstory and the whole reason why he's kind of a bastard. We cut to what I assume is just the Orin Temple. And you get four monks picking on Krillin for being so small. And they're just beating on him. Like, one kicks him in the face. They tell him that he's, like, no good. He's a perfect punching bag. Nobody loves him, but the circus will probably take him. Like, fuck those guys. He's not
These
even...
are actually bullies.
Yeah, these guys are actual bullies.
Yeah.
Like, he's not dodging or anything. They just throw him across the room to be jerks. And you're just thinking in the back of your mind, God, I want to see these guys get their ass kicked. Oh, I'm so ready to see these guys get their ass kicked. And you hold on to that, and you tuck it away for later. You put it in your pocket. And Krillin gets fucking mad just thinking about it. And he starts hammering his pickaxe onto the ground, and he breaks it. And he goes flying, and the head of it lands between Roshi's legs, which is always fun to see, like when Launch dropped the knife between Krillin's legs.
How do you say this? It's like, Launch is like a neutral chaos type of character. I think that's the right term.
She's chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral, yeah.
It's
like a force not to be reckoned with, but
like, she doesn't discriminate against good or evil. She's more like a storm that just comes to destroy. Yeah, I can see that. Master Roshi takes the boys to the lake, and for some reason Goku and Krillin are shocked that there's more to do, but Roshi goes, yeah? Isn't the sun still up? Of course there's more to do.
Oh, man. Sorry, I was just thinking about, like, a farm life with Grandpa back in Asia.
Mm-hmm. Of course there's stuff to do, you know? You gotta milk the cows, you gotta till the fields, you gotta make food, you gotta make
so
sure
what my grandpa does in Laos was, I don't know what to call it in English, but you ever, it's like gelatin, but it's made out of blood. You ever had that before in, like, pho or anything like that?
I know what you're talking about.
That's what my grandpa makes. He's kind of stopped now because he's old, but that's what he did for a living for the longest time in Asia and sold it in the market.
Is that blood
so
sausage?
Pretty hard. Is it? I don't know what it's called in English.
It might. Nah,
It's literally like a gelatin.
Yeah.
Like you kind of cure the blood into a jello, and then you would just eat it like that.
I know what you're talking about, though.
Okay, I don't know what it's called in English, but anyways, and my grandpa would do that first thing in the morning till sun's gone. Then he would come home, eat dinner, drink a couple beers, and just toss those cans, backhand it into the trash can. Call it a night.
You go to visit, and he goes, "Phoup, go get your old man a brewski."
I mean, I did have a beer with him.
That's just how grandpas are.
Yeah, I should write that down for the future.
It's just how grandpas.
Well, Grandpa, what's a brewski?
Grandpa, what is a brewski? At this point, Goku's getting impatient about not learning actual fighting techniques, and Roshi kind of snaps at them. He says when they're strong enough to push a huge boulder, then he'll teach them fighting moves, which Krillin thinks is impossible. But, since Master Roshi is a baller, he's like, "Oh yeah? Check this shit out!" and then moves it. Goku disappears for a second, trying to push another equally sized boulder, and actually moves it. Like, a lot. Like, he's just screaming and running at full speed with this boulder. And it's like...
Goku was pissed. Like, he saw the nerve on his head. Like, this man wanted to learn to fight, like, right now.
It's like that scene from SpongeBob where he's like, "It's not just a boulder, it's a rock," and how it just makes this flattened dirt trench that drives over Squidward. It looks exactly like that. Roshi and Krillin are just shocked to see what Goku can do, and their eyes bug out, and it knocks off Master Roshi's sunglasses.
Oh man, I haven't seen Master Roshi that surprised since the Bulma incident.
Boom boom. Roshi tries to get out of it by saying he meant a different rock, and he points to this huge boulder that's like 10 times bigger.
It's literally a plateau.
A small mountain. Goku can't move it, and Roshi claims that he can, but quickly changes the subject when he's asked to prove it. Like, you get the scene of him, like, he sizes it up, and it kind of zooms in on him, and it, does the close-up of his sunglasses, and they kind of sparkle over a bit, like, oh, he might actually do it. And he's like, "Well, there's more training to do, so..."
And Krillin kind of gave him that look, obviously. It's like, I kind of do. But, like, there was two ways I predicted this was going to go down. He was either going to pull that shit, or he was just going to go, like, massive. Like, out of nowhere. Again.
Bulk
for no
up,
reason.
Like,
just to move a rock. Yeah. Like, he's going to just blow up the rock and say, "Yep, that's how you move a rock."
Yeah. Still got it.
Like, I would have been fine.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Either.
Anytime
Outcomes.
Master Roshi does anything, it's always good. Goku and Krillin, for their next set of training, have to swim the lake for 10 laps. Naked, of course, because it wouldn't be Dragon Ball without some Dragon Balls.
I love how, like, the camera angle was so far, but the first thing I noticed is just two naked children. Like,
"Sir, are you telling me that you're looking for naked children? Why don't you have a seat right over there?"
you see their clothes. You see their clothes off. It's obviously they're gonna go for a swim.
Mm-hmm. They jump in and they're swimming. They're like, "Oh wow, this is so easy." And Roshi chuckles to himself, and his sunglasses, they glimmer, and you just know that shenanigans are afoot. Krillin thinks that they're being rewarded for good behavior, and then Roshi calls out to him as a warning that there's some big old fish in that lake. And then you get like this synth Jaws theme because the lake has sharks in it.
I didn't question it.
I had to look it up because I was like, that doesn't sound possible. And I found that there are very few sharks that can withstand fresh water. 3 out of 4 of them are found only in rivers, meaning that the only sharks that could survive in a lake is a bull shark.
Let me search this up. Bull shark. That's a cool name. Bull shark. These bull sharks are still massive.
Well, it was a big shark that attacked Goku.
Or a decent size.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing something like, oh, bull sharks are often mistaken for small great whites or something like that.
Pretty cool.
But yes, a shark attacks. Krillin tries to bail, but Roshi calls out to him and like, that's not a full lap, you gotta touch the other side of the shore. And they get to the other side, where they think that they're safe, only for a dinosaur to appear and threaten them, forcing them to jump back into the water, where they're chased by the shark again. It's just a good chase scene, I love it.
I was just thinking about how cold that water would be. Like, I'm not a strong swimmer, but I could appreciate a cold lake once in a while, butt naked.
If there's nothing that you know more, it's being naked in a lake. They manage to survive, and they're set up with their next training assignment. While tied to a tree, Roshi explains that it will test their reflexes and dodging speed, and he walks up to the tree very slowly and whacks at a wasp nest. His only advice is to say, "Try not to get stung!" What an ass.
Those wasps will go so far for people.
Mm-hmm.
Did I already tell the story about
No.
my grade in elementary school hitting a wasp nest?
Nope.
My God, I remember. Of course, it's all the guys, just all the kids, all the boys, just being dumb. They're like, throw a football at it. We'll play a game. Don't get stung.
No, you were practicing for Turtle Hermit training.
Oh man, we were tied, but we sure ran fast as hell. So I don't remember who threw the football, but we threw it and we ran all the way back to the playground. This was like a good like 100 feet, maybe even more, for like 50 yards, I'd say. And those wasps will chase you down. I got stung in the face. That was not a good feeling because it was swollen for like a whole week.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know who else got hit, but
I don't remember exactly if it's wasps, but there's some kind of bastard stinging bug that if it stings you, the barb lets out that toxin, and that toxin has a pheromone in it that signals to all the other swarming bugs that, hey, I found the thing that we need to sting. Come sting this location here. And so it alerts all the other wasps to be like, oh, we know where you are, and you can run. Well, we're going to be able to follow that pheromone.
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
So, I don't remember if that's wasps or not, but that does sound like something that those bastards would do.
But, you know, being dumb sometimes, it wasn't the first time I learned my lesson. I think throughout my life, there was either 2 or 3 incidents I've had with wasp nests. And maybe 2 out of 3 of those incidents also involved a football.
Man, football and wasps, they just go hand in hand. Good work. The wasps come out and they start attacking Goku and Krillin, and Roshi starts yelling at them, causing some of the wasps to start coming his way, but then it cuts out. The day ends, and Goku and Krillin are just covered in lumps and stings, and Roshi's like, yeah, you're dodging his shit, but you completed your first day of training. And he's got this big ol' sting on the back of his head.
Before he got stung, I just love how he tried to wail at it with his cape.
He's like, get out of here. Krillin does the setup for the classic joke, is the training going to be this hard every day? And Roshi replies with, oh, of course not. It's going to be even harder, because now you're going to be wearing 50-pound turtle shells.
I love that.
The episode ends as the boys fall over, and the narrator reminds us that the tournament isn't that far away, which is a nice segue into episode 19, The Tournament Begins. Nothing happens in this episode. Moving on. Oh, actually, things do happen. I misread my notes. I have a couple of pages here, actually. It starts on a new day of the island, and there's that monk on top of the island, and he's ringing this big old bell that resonates throughout the whole place. It somberly brings up the episode title, and it says, The Tournament Begins. It's just like, bong, 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 and instead of playing like that chipper title card that they normally do, like, they've never changed this up before. Normally how they do it is You get a little preamble. The narrator catches you up, or there's just a small little joke or action scene, and then they hit you with like the title card and a little bit of mystical adventure will play.
Mm-hmm.
But here it's different, and like this is a nice little preview of some stuff to come, because when you get into that tournament, you'll get a new intro. Not a new like intro to the show, but like a new
Way of, like,
title card.
Yeah.
Yeah. We see Goku and Krillin doing their training with the extra turtle shell weight, and they're just working hard. No more shortcuts. They want into that tournament. They've got their motivation. They're feeling good about it. Months pass. They just skip over a lot. Months pass. It's moving fast. Goku and Krillin can handle the daily training like it's no big deal. They're running unencumbered. They swim so fast. They lap the lake shark, and he's like, what? They complete their basic training, and Roshi is watching on and going like, oh, darn, now I have to work. I always love watching Goku eat, and now Krillin's starting to eat like him too. Like, they're just like, blah, 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 blah. Like Cookie Monster.
You gotta eat before I launch like sneezes, or else lunch break is over.
Gotta do it quick. They finish their plate and ask for seconds before Roshi or Launch can even get a bite in. Clumsy Roshi. He drops his food on the floor and he crawls down to get it, but he notices Launch's legs under the table, and my dog is just so pent up. He just starts going for it.
he tries to pick up the meatball with his chopstick, but instead he just like pushes the meatball.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, whoops. Oh no, it's getting closer. I have to scoot forward a little bit. And he's about to use his chopsticks to lift up her skirt. But again, Goku and Krillin ask for more food, and she gets up to leave. And like, Krillin, they mentioned this before, like, do you time this? But, like, he's fuming. He's staying on the ground. He's just like, oh, these fucking kids. I hate these fucking kids. But he stands his ground. Launch will have to return eventually. And she comes back with this big old tub of rice. It's this huge, like
barrel. That was probably steaming.
You know, like, you ever seen, like, old pictures of cowboys? And they have, like, that bath that's just, like, the bottom fourth of a barrel that's been cut open, and they're just like sitting in it.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. Like, they got this like big old tub of rice that's like that, and she just like places it on the table, and it's way too heavy for that table to support. Like, the legs are starting to buckle. You hear cracking sounds.
That's just something I'm just used to seeing. Just when you cook rices in big batches, like the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
I think sometimes if you watch like people like the Japanese, the sushi chef, I think that's how they like put vinegar in their rice as well and mix it up. It's pretty cool.
Like a huge batch like that.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like in a barrel. Sometimes you see it. Yeah.
However, I noticed that big old tub of rice is way too heavy for the table.
It's like an IKEA table.
But Launch was able to carry it. I think Launch might be pretty strong, actually.
I didn't consider that.
She was just like, here you go, boys, you know, like a little grunt to put it on the table. But when she put it on the table, it made the table compress a little bit.
The legs of the table were not straight anymore.
No, yeah. She sits back down, and Roshi starts up his prospector laugh again. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh. And he can't contain himself. The opportunity arises, and he's about to get that peek when the table collapses and crushes him under it.
Krillin's like, now he's really stuck.
I mean this in the most literal sense of the word. Master Roshi is an incel. He cannot get a break. He cannot get his rocks off for anything. Everything goes wrong for him. He's involuntarily celibate. Not for lack of trying. He just can't get it. Just be grateful that he doesn't have access to the internet yet.
Yeah. I wonder... No. I was going to say, what if he was able to reach this level because he's had this type of luck with every type of woman? Like, he was able to achieve the level of a sage.
he reached enlightenment.
Yeah.
You know how, like, you were telling me, like, Buddhist monks can't get girlfriends, and
stuff like
that's
that,
one of
yeah.
their levels to reach enlightenment. But Roshi's been trying and failing, but he
Because it's like a
failed so
desire,
long.
you know? Yeah.
He failed so long that he reached his enlightenment.
Desire. But he just can't get it. He's like accidentally enlightened.
By this point in the story, the tournament's only 1 month away, and all that farmland that they plowed with their hands is growing wheat and stuff. Like, they did good work. they actually did it. Goku busts down the door while Roshi and Launch are eating what I can only assume to be pudding. They got, like, cups, and it's a little, like, mound, and they got really long spoons.
Yeah.
And he claims it's an emergency, and Roshi very tiredly goes, what kind? What kind of emergency?
Somebody better be dying.
Listen, unless Krillin's trapped under some volcano. Goku brings him to that big old rock, and they remind him that he said if they can move it, he has to teach them how to fight. And Master Roshi seems to have forgotten that he said that. The boys moved the huge rock, much to Roshi's surprise, as this was clearly not part of the plan. He's like, oh fuck, they actually did it. Oh, I should have picked a mountain. The rock thing was just a joke to keep him working.
I wouldn't be mad if he used the same excuse.
Oh, I meant that one. Goku and Krillin are super stoked to hear that his martial arts lessons are going to be next, and almost sheepishly he says, well, I have nothing left to teach you about martial arts. And he says that the secret of the Turtle Hermit style is the training schedule itself. By doing the same actions like that every single day, they've pushed their arms, legs, hearts, and even their minds past their basic limitations. And I really like this aspect that Master Roshi keeps bringing up, and they sprinkle it here and there. Under his lazy, lecherous old bastard persona, there is a sagely martial arts master that drops all this wisdom. Like, talk shit about his personality and what he actually does all you want. They made it. They moved the rock.
Like I said, it paid off, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a bigger reward than I thought it was going to be honest.
As we go through the next episode, yeah, it ends up paying off in big ways that may be too big for someone like Goku at the moment. When Goku says, how can we win if we don't know how to fight? Roshi immediately responds with, you didn't come here to win, you came here to learn. And it's just more of that Mr. Miyagi kind of master thinking that I really like out of Master Roshi. He says, fighting is just an expression of the art of the human body, and the tournament is merely another step to their training. Essentially, they won't be using any special moves until they get the fighting experience of the tournament. And so to push them a little more in the final month, Master Roshi gives them even heavier turtle shells. He's like, I'm going to upgrade you to the 100-pound model. Crunch. Very stylish. Meanwhile, in some dark woods, a really well-animated wild man runs through the darkness, flips through the trees, and does some martial arts before using the Wolf Fang fist on a big old boulder, punching a plug straight through it like it was that one scene from Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
So remembering when I first searched it up. Remembering how ridiculous it was.
Remember when I said that the Wolf Fang fist sequences would get better animations as the series went on?
Yeah.
Like, this whole sequence is really well done.
I really like how they made Yamcha look all rugged and stuff.
Yeah, he's got like a little beard and a mustache now.
Mm-hmm. It really shows how long he's been in the forest and how hard he's been working.
It's a good look for him. I like it.
Yeah, I really like that look too. I also like his next look that we're about to get to.
You like that one, huh?
I like both of them, actually.
All right.
Yeah.
After the light clears and it's revealed to be Yamcha, he says, it's been a month now. And yeah, I'm strong. like, like, yeah, I know. I'm strong. It's a really great read from his voice actor. We cut back to the city, and everyone's flying around in, like, personal planes and hover cars and hover bikes. And after looking at the wilderness and stuff for so long, seeing an actual city, like, to this extent, is more shocking to me than seeing dinosaurs. Like, we've been in the wilderness and the past, quote unquote, for lack of a better term. Like, you see these villages, and they're like, there's the desert village where everyone's in, like, these little huts, or there's the castle, Pilaf's castle, and it's all older stuff. And then you just get Future City. Everyone's got flying cars.
Very modernized. I can tell. I guess that's what you're expressing is what Goku feels as well.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember. So when I was in Asia, right? Like I remember seeing this in my little cousins because they kind of live kind of in like the suburb area, not the exact countryside, but still a little bit far out enough from the city per se. I remember taking my little cousin with my uncle, and we went to like the big supermarket, kind of like a Mall of America in a way,
like, and even bigger than just a.
I would say it's bigger than Mall of America, but it's a lot more condensed. Like there's more stores, there's more people,
compacted.
There's a lot more. Yeah. And my little cousin, she's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's pointing. It's the escalator. Like, "Oh, you want to go up?" And then she's like, "Oh, I'm a little scared." My uncle comes out. It's like, "Come here, you country bumpkin." And I'm like, she's like, and I'm like, "I'm not even from the country." And I thought it was a pretty cute scene, but that was the first time I actually like saw someone in person like see modernization, you know, like technology and stuff like that.
I always love hearing stories like this from like your times in Asia or family that have similar experiences like this, because it's a completely different. Like, my family grew up, everyone was like in a 5-mile radius. There was no like, we had shared universal experiences with each other, but you sound like, oh, well, I had this family who had never seen an escalator before, this one who kept poop bags in the side of the truck.
Another good example, actually, I just remembered, it was back in like 2008 when I was still like
in diapers.
How old was nah? How old was I? I'm 22 now. I can do math.
I can do this.
Like 12. There was I had more cousins at the time that was hanging out with me, and they never saw an elevator too. So they wanted me to like have them go into the elevator and like take them up to the highest floor, because you know the way how the elevator was designed was it was a glass, so you can like see yourself going up. And I remember we got to the top floor, and there's this prick of an Asian lady working there. It's like, "Oh, I will call the cops and tell your parents that you're being naughty." I'm like, showing them how to use the elevator, woman. So I just closed the elevator door and went back down.
What are you gonna do? Stop the elevator? Keep me on the elevator?
And it was like 5 floors, so she had to wait a little bit. It's just a little bit of inconvenience, you know.
And you know, it was glass, so she could like watch you go down.
Watch us go down. We could watch her just stand there. But that was like at the airport too, and that was like the last day I saw my cousins until I saw them again 10 years later in 2018. That's when I recently went back. Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, sometimes the reaction to modernization is pretty interesting. I didn't really like think it was a big deal, you know, but it was a big deal for them, and I wanted to like show them, you know, just have fun.
Yeah,
that was the bottom line. I'm so glad I caused that lady inconvenience, because she really did startle the other kids. So I was like, this prick.
Hey, lady, don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you yelled at children. Bulma's pissed because Yamcha's been gone for like 4 weeks and hasn't written or sent flowers, and Oolong doesn't make things any better by going, Face it, baby, by now he's forgotten your name. Just to be a dick. Always good to hear Oolong just, like, spitting at Bulma.
But I feel like if you know he's in the jungle, he's a border life caveman. What do you expect him to send you or anything, and how?
Listen, you gotta use the jungle phone.
Is that what Donkey Kong uses?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's... Are you for real? Are you shitting me right now?
No, Donkey Kong doesn't have a phone. He's got a TV.
Reason...
He's got a TV.
Okay.
I don't think he's got a phone, though.
Okay.
She's walking around with a bag of groceries, and an orange falls out of the bag, and it bounces into the street, where she just follows it without looking, like a dumbass. And this loud, huge truck just appears out of thin air, as if it just wants to flatten her. It was called into existence to have this scene happen.
Oh, man. It was just like from, like, Sonic Adventure 2. Was it the second one?
Yeah. The gun truck just explodes. Yeah, it's super loud. It comes out of nowhere, and then it just cuts to commercial. Like she's falling, staring directly at this car, going, ah! And then it cuts. And, like, it's got the drama sting. She's screaming. You see the big truck, the engine's revving, and then it does that happy little rendition of Mystical Adventure. And then after the cut, Yamcha saves Bulma, and Puar refers to his absence to being like being at a beach without any sunshine. Do you think Puar's in love with Yamcha?
I really don't know.
Like, she's very defensive of him, and always comes to his aid whenever he needs it. Just simps. Puar simps for Yamcha.
I think there's, you could put it that way. Sometimes I like to think about it like a family love, kind of like Oda from Yakuza 0 with Tachibana, But who knows? Maybe Puar gets a human body down the road or something, and shit happens.
Well, I mean, Puar can just transform, and from what we can tell, there is no time limit. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I'm not saying that it didn't not happen.
And I'm not saying that Goatman made that milk himself.
We're just gonna file that one under can't be proven or disproven. Bulma gives Yamcha shit for being gone and says that she was worried that he was dead in a ditch in a country he couldn't pronounce. And all that came to my mind was like highway sounds and Yamcha in his little Yamcha hole. Just like, okay. Cars driving by. I thought that too,
yeah. Ever since you taught me about the Yamcha hole and how iconic it was, it makes me chuckle a little bit because of how loved it is.
It's one of those things where it's like people don't like Yamcha, so they celebrate his death. And I'm wondering, like, did I forget some point in Dragon Ball timeline where Yamcha just royally fucks up and is irredeemable? Because I don't think I remember this happening.
I thought that was the point of the Yamcha hole.
Like, I want to say the only thing that changed is Yamcha stops being as competent, and maybe people didn't like that change, and so he just becomes that kind of loser character that people can beat in order to make themselves look tougher. Like, oh wow, this guy's super tough, we gotta be careful. He just pimp slapped Yamcha away and he died. That's how tough these guys are.
When do you think it started? Dragon Ball Z? When, like, Vegeta made an appearance or something? Or maybe even earlier than that?
There's a sequence earlier where Yamcha gets into a fight and he gets hit out early. Like, this one just jumps to my mind. He's supposed to be like this, hey, we're gonna take it all the way to the end, Yamcha, kind of character moment for him, and then he loses, and then he's on the sidelines for, like, the rest of the fights, and he's just like, fuck, I'm useless, my arm's broken or whatever, and it's just like, okay, you said that you were going to be there for the entire thing, and then you lost, like, right away. Like, fuck off, dude. That's the first time I think Yamcha's put in that position to get the new character looking tough.
I see.
It's called jobbing. You feed him jobbers. The quintessential example that people always think of is Vegeta. Because, Vegeta's a tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
Vegeta's a tough guy because there's characters that say, like, oh, I'm this strong. I'm as strong as this character that gave Goku trouble, or whatever. And then Vegeta just goes, bop, and just kills him. Like, no remorse. Super easy win. It's like, oh, wow, that character gave Goku trouble, so Vegeta must be really strong. And then a few episodes later, you get someone like Frieza. And Frieza, you've just been told is strong, and then Vegeta's like, oh, I'm super strong. I killed all those dudes. And then Vegeta just gets his shit rocked. And you're like, oh shit, Vegeta was strong, so now Frieza must be real strong. So his whole purpose was just making other people look tough. And
I feel like balancing your characters in series would be pretty hard in this kind of field. I feel like I would not do a good job.
There's a reason why they keep going like, oh man, Frieza was the strongest guy ever. Oh man, Cell was the strongest guy ever. Oh man, Majin Buu's the strongest guy ever. Like, they have to keep escalating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of, like, people have a problem with Dragon Ball Z because of it. But
yeah, I can see that.
In Dragon Ball, everything's pretty even keel. Like, Yamcha right now is still tough enough to potentially take on Goku. And Goku went through Turtle Hermit training.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's still good. Back in Dragon Ball world, the tournament is now only one day ahead, and Master Roshi comes out, and he's wearing this pimpin' brown suit and a matching hat. The man's just got stees dripping out of the yin-yang. Like, he is on fire lately.
It's this formal setup. It's the moment to show these kids what they're made of, you know?
Oh, yeah? He asks the boys if they remember to pack their toothbrushes, and Goku does not know what a toothbrush is. One more idiot Goku moment for the road. He's like, you boys pack your toothbrushes? What? At this point, Roshi has them take off their shells after 8 months of wearing it, and has them jump, just to, like, prove that his training works. And they rocket into the sky.
Yeah, I felt really proud of this moment. And this is where, like, this is where I was talking about where I started liking Krillin more with their, because, like, they've come a long way together, you know? Yep. And
they're like bros.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, they jump up into the sky, like, several stories, and they're like, hey, Goku, do you notice anything different? You mean how we, like, just jumped 50 feet in the air like it was no problem? Yeah, this fucking rules. They can run even faster than normal. They truly have surpassed their limits.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a note. Roshi got results. He did what he set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Launch gives them a present, because she might be the nicest Dragon Ball character in the entire series. And
I thought it was going to be food.
Thought it was going to be food, but no, she made nice clothes for the boys to wear at the tournament. They're blue suits and matching hats. They come out and they're looking like little Blues Brothers. They're pretty gangster. And Roshi loads up his car, and I had to make this note because it just threw me for a fucking loop. Roshi has, like, a 1960s Cadillac.
Like an actual pimp, right?
Yeah, it's got the fins on the rear lights and stuff. Like, of course a player like Roshi would have a 1960s Cadillac. What a fucking Chad. But also, he says that they gotta leave because they don't want to miss their flight. They're taking a commercial flight? This is a world where everyone has personal planes. However, those planes do have some kinks to them, remember? The kink of falling out of the sky randomly? So maybe Roshi didn't want to be responsible for the possible deaths of 2 children.
What was the name of that spinning turtle again?
Baby Gamela.
Yeah, I hope to see that thing soon.
Phoup, I got some bad news for you.
Oh,
I don't think Baby Gamble is ever coming back.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's a reason for it.
They got away with it once. And the lawyers came down, like, you can't be doing that, come on. Roshi leaves Launch in charge of the house while they're gone and says, try not to sneeze! I feel like even blonde Launch would not leave the house. Like, she knows the game. She knows that the police are after her. She's got a good thing on the island. Nobody knows where she is. And she gets a free house out of it. Pretty good. They get on a big old military-looking plane, and I had the thought, Roshi could save money by having Goku ride the Nimbus to the tournament.
I would probably say that, too.
I'm sure he's more comfortable.
I'd be worried about what Goku would get into.
If you just had Goku follow the plane, I think it would have been fine.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
While on the plane, Krillin reads the newspaper. Specifically, USA News. So this leads me to the conclusion that Dragon Ball takes place in America. Or at least the tournament takes place in America. I don't actually think that, but why would you have USA News on the newspaper? The stewardess comes by. And Master Roshi takes the first opportunity that he can to start groping her. And he just gets smacked for it.
Yeah.
He's still probably like 8 months backed up at the very least. Yes, and it was at this point that I realized, where has Turtle been? Has he still been on vacation? For 8 months? Like, he probably went back to the island, saw that the house was gone, and was like, oh, damn it, he did it again. God fucking damn it.
What about the alligator, the croc? I don't know what it was. Was he just a buddy chilling on the island with him, or?
I think he was coming to visit the Love Shack, but there were no girls that day, so he was just sunning.
I see.
You know, Roshi has to make his money somehow.
Yeah.
Goku looks out the window of the plane at night, and he thinks that the city lights down below are fallen stars. Roshi corrects him, and Goku says, oh, so they make stars in the city. And Krillin just scoffs at him and says what we've all been thinking, and says Goku is a caveman.
I'm glad someone said it at least once.
It's so fucking good. They go to the tournament arena, and you hear this guy start talking about signing in. And before we even got to see him, I heard the voice and thought to myself, oh no, this man has a turban, doesn't he? And motherfucker, I was right. Like, they cut to this dude, and he's this Indian-looking man, like, and he's got the turban, and he's like, I can't stand when Dragon Ball fucking does this.
Really?
Every time.
I kind of like it.
I'm like, motherfucker, he's gonna have a turban.
I'm just not gonna question who voiced it.
Oh, you know it was a white guy. Yeah, I'm not gonna look that up. While Roshi gets the boys signed in, Yamcha tracks down Goku, but he doesn't recognize who he is at first until he strikes his fighting stance and calls out his signature move. So, Goku, not good with faces, but can remember a fighting stance and a move. Okay, glad we got that distinction. He's got face blindness, that's all.
Yeah, Yamcha's all like cleaned up. I was a little bit surprised too when they showed him. He shaved his beard, he cut his hair. It's kind of like a crew cut in a way, but the top is still left a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's got enough for like the little the bangs or whatever to come over.
Yeah, he's really clean looking now, and the reason why Goku couldn't recognize him is like, oh, your hair fell off, Yamcha. He's like, well, Obama says long hair is no longer the thing.
Yeah. Long hair's out this season. He's also got a headband. I like the headband.
Yeah, I like the headband too.
He does his Wolfang fist pose, And he says, "I thought you'd like that." And I like that too. It's nice to have regular Yamcha back. You know, he's going to be in more episodes.
I like... The reason why I liked it's kind of like when you kind of see a kid in your family again, and you kind of just do something silly that would make them smile. It's like, I knew that kid would like that.
a little in-joke or a pose. You know, you're standing at the end of the hall, and then you just T-pose. And then that kid at the end of the hall goes like, "Oh yeah, T-pose."
I knew you'd like that.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that. Bulma's happy to see Goku, but the second that Roshi senses her presence, he's all up in her grill. He starts laying on the moves thick the instant that he gets the opportunity. Bulma goes, "Hey, I went by your island to say hi to Goku, and your house wasn't even there." And I'm just like, the same thing fucking happened to the turtle, I bet. Roshi says, "Well, that pad's more for loving than for training martial arts." And I'm like, yes, the Love Shack is officially canon. Roshi reminds her of the last time that they saw each other and how she was wearing that bunny suit. And he's cupping the air in front of his face again. He's like, "Yeah, put it on again."
He's repeating bunny suit.
You know, yeah, bunny suit, boom boom, am I right? Bulma hits him with a big old hammer. She just pulls it out, gives him a whack.
Thought she was gonna use the I have a boyfriend card or something.
She could have.
But I was like waiting for it, but I guess not.
I guess not. Master Roshi's really not gonna get any. Ever, is he?
No. He had a chance with the mermaid.
He had a chance. He went too fast with the mermaid, I think.
Oh my god. Faster than the mermaid can walk.
The mermaid could ride the Nimbus, so the mermaid was a maiden.
Yeah.
Goku's super eager to fight, but he'll have to wait until morning before the tournament officially begins. This is just kind of the sign-in time. They get some rest, and before they know it, morning arrives, and they show up, and nobody seems to believe that these kids want to enter the tournament. Come on! Just let the kids fight. Fight the kids. Beat them up. Do it. Fight the kids. What's the worst that could happen? Roshi leaves them with just one more thing, giving them a new outfit to change into, and it's something somewhat familiar. It's the Turtle Hermit gi. It's the first version of that Goku classic look, and it's really, really nice to see. You know, he had kind of like the blue outfit, or the purplish kind of looking outfit at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got this kind of reddish outfit. And while in Dragon Ball Z, it's orange, but here it's more of a red. Still, it's good to see him repping that Turtle School symbol on his back.
I've never worn a ki before, so do you actually know what the material's like made out of?
I've never done karate, I've never done judo or anything that you would wear a gi for, but anytime I see it, it always looks a little... It looks that it moves, but it also looks a little thick.
Because the only thing I've never actually like searched it up, but I remember watching like a video of this guy going over Tekken characters, and they went over what was his name? The Death Punch guy. Frick, Paul.
Oh, Paul, yeah, Paul.
Yeah,
Paul's got a gi.
And he was describing why he would like rip the gi off his arms, but still keep the rest. And the rest was like so you can like grip them when you mount them, but you still have room to move with your arms because, you know, he has the Death Fist.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, I don't know, if it has a grip to it, is it because it's just cloth, or is it like a rough, like, grippy kind of cloth?
Yeah, like, anytime I've seen it, and this goes to show how little I've seen it, honestly, it kind of looks like canvas to me. Like, the thicker parts look like canvas.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe
but
I'll
obviously,
search it up later.
It
More about
be. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, just wondering.
I'll join up with a judo class and we'll see. Roshi explains that the elimination round will go until there's 8 fighters left for the actual tournament, and that he'll be in the crowd so that they won't see him. We get a peek into the sparring hall, and you see all these dopes that are totally gonna job to the main characters. Like, I always love when they show crowds, especially in the tournament stuff, because, like, you see these strong men, these boxers, some, like, karate master-looking dudes. They're all nobodies. None of them are gonna make it to the finals.
I'm pretty sure one of them was, like, Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah, there's totally a Bruce Lee character in there.
There was one in there that was like, Bruce Lee inspired.
Mm-hmm. Krillin gets into a fight later. I know who's in this tournament, like, later on. So I was looking around to see if, like, oh, well, maybe you can see this character in a crowd and they'll show up later or whatever. No, they're all just chumps. They're all just losers. The gong rings, and that same racist caricature in the turban says that the tournament's about to begin, which leads us into our final episode of the week, which is episode 20, Elimination Round. We are told via a man with a megaphone that the audience is not allowed to see elimination rounds, but I don't see why not. You know, just slap some cameras in there and broadcast it outside. You could just put this on TV, it'd be fine.
But didn't you listen? It's a fire hazard to have everyone in there.
Oh yeah, that'd be a fire hazard to have literally everyone in there. Bulma yells at him, asking how can they see their friends fighting, and he yells right back, through the megaphone, close your eyes and pretend that you're there.
I actually really like that.
There are 137 fighters participating in the tournament, and only 8 are going to the finals? Bro, just get a bigger bracket. There's clearly a demand for more fights. Everyone wants to see these guys. Around this point is when Krillin starts having, like, hardcore second thoughts about all of this. Like, he's really doubting himself.
Oh, yeah. Like, sometimes when you're put to the test, you get that anxiety, you know? Like, I play Tekken with my stepbrother all the time, and he does really well against me because he's comfortable. But the moment he hops in the rank, he freezes up, he tenses up, and he chokes.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter how much 8 months of Turtle Hermit training that you've done. He doesn't do well under pressure, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's a window outside that Bulma's trying to see through but can't, so she threatens Oolong with Piggy unless he makes himself useful as a stool. Hey, I say, if she says Piggy, there's going to be a different stool in his place, am I right? Also, we're over 8 months. Like, 8 months has been the time that Goku has been with Master Roshi, so it's well over 8 months.
Yeah.
This poo-poo pill still works? Is it just in his blood forever now? Like, the Piggy threat still gets Oolong to do shit. Or else he will shit.
I guess it's one way to keep Oolong in check.
I guess, I don't know.
And I like how they were arguing too, where Oolong was like, you can't just tell me to change on command. Ask Puar to do it. Puar's like, I changed the last 4 times. It's your turn, Oolong.
So what this is telling me is Bulma is just like abusing her relationship with her friends here to get free shit.
I mean, if she really wanted shit, she could just say Piggy.
Oolong gets on his hands and knees, begrudgingly, but he's rewarded with a peek up her skirt, and he's into it.
Yeah. I honestly thought he would agree, thinking that this is what he'll get. But then again, I guess his pride was on the line.
I guess so.
You think he's wearing those hella soft panties underneath those trousers?
I think he is. She still can't see, so she stands on his shoulders, and Oolong is just a little guy. Even someone as light as Bulma could just easily compress his spine. Like, just flatten a disc. He's putting the work in. During the shot where Bulma looks in through the window, there's this dude with a much more realistically rendered human face. Like, he's got, like, a man's face that's realistic looking.
You talking about the blue hair, right?
Yeah, he's got the blue hair. Okay, I'm glad that you saw it too.
something didn't feel right with that guy being in the show. It felt like he was from an Adult Swim series for some reason. The way how they drew him.
I said that he looks like Josh Brolin with bright blue hair. I'm like,
I just couldn't. It was on the tip of my tongue. I didn't know what to say, but something didn't feel right.
He was just realistically rendered. I said that he looks like he was transplanted from an entirely different property. Like, he does not look like a Dragon Ball character at all, and I kind of love it. And the fact that you were able to point him out, too, proves that I'm right. I gotta know, if I did not mention this guy at all, would you have stopped me and go like, no, hold on, there's this guy that we need to talk about?
Yeah, I would have stopped you, because he actually did not. He made everything feel a little off in that whole scene. I would have mentioned that guy.
Okay, I'm glad.
I don't know how I would have mentioned him, other than saying he made me feel uncomfortable. That's all I would have said, but I'm glad that you noticed him too, because that's all the details I could have given you.
Some old official dude explains the rules of how the tournament works, and how you can lose by landing outside the ring, losing consciousness, or if you say, I give up. Killing your opponent is strictly forbidden. Weapons are also grounds for elimination, but claws can be used if they're natural. And again, they keep showing these crowd shots, and there are some real winners in these guys. You got this dude with an Easter Island head shape. And he looks like a tribal warrior, and he's just like looking off to the side. There's a bunch of animal dudes, some ninjas, just real good stuff. They take numbers and get placed into the tournament brackets, and what luck! None of our friends have to fight each other in the elimination rounds. Isn't that convenient?
Pretty convenient, yeah.
Krillin is really not confident about any of this, but Goku isn't fazed. His number's called first, and he gets into the ring, and everyone mocks him, but he's just got this really dumb, empty smile plastered on his face. And you just know, whoever he goes up against is just gonna get their shit rocked. They're like, oh, someone from the Diaper Brigade is here. Ooh, we're so scared. And Goku's just sitting up there, no thoughts, head empty. He's looking real good. This big dude in a strongman singlet faces off against Goku, and he claims that he's fallen on his rump and squashed bugs bigger than him.
Terrifying.
It's
on his rump.
On his
bug.
Rump. A bug bigger than Goku. This is Dragon Ball World. I believe it.
Yeah, I do too.
I believe in giant bugs.
I would love to see a giant rhino beetle.
I'm sure that exists somewhere in Dragon Ball. I guarantee it.
I think rhino beetles are cool. But anyways.
The fight begins, and he attempts to crush Goku, but Goku is super fast now. So he dodges and gently taps him on the back, and he falls forward, falling out of the ring. Nobody believes that Goku won legitimately, and they think that he just got lucky. So the charade continues, and only Yamcha knows the truth. Every once in a while, we cut back with Bulma, Puar, and Oolong, and just poor Oolong. He cannot support Bulma's weight. He keeps looking up her skirt, though, but it still hurts him.
How much do I have to pay you to make a render or an edit of that big dude falling off the ring, but with the smash animation?
Oh, so like when Goku pokes him, it goes and like zooms in, you get the red sparks and everything.
Yeah, it just loses a stock.
That'd be pretty easy to do, I think. I think I might look into that this weekend.
I just imagined it now because of how easy it was to push him off. I don't know. Me and my brother were playing Smash as of lately, and
I think that would be pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we've just been playing a lot of Smash. It just came to mind just now.
Mm-hmm. Oolong is he's hobbling with Bulma on his shoulders, and she looks down and goes like, "Why are you hobbling so much? Straighten out. The fuck's wrong with you?" Very selfish of Bulma to say so.
Very. But I was very surprised with Oolong's like actions. Like He's like, you're lucky I'm not a perv. And he's trying his best not to look.
Yeah, he's.
What happened?
Hey, 8 months went by. You don't know what happened. This is where Goku says that he thinks that they shouldn't use their full strength because they might actually hurt some of these dopes. But before Krillin can really think about it, those buttholes from his flashback come back just to pick on him. And you're just hoping that they get picked for his fight. They're like, oh, you're not thinking of actually entering in this tournament, are you? And Krillin's response of like, oh, well, yeah, I was thinking about it, yeah maybe. It's just great. They just keep putting him on blast, and it's revealed that, yes, he is going to be fighting one of them right away, and you're just really pulling for it at that point. You're just like, come on, Krillin, you got this. And you get Goku's line of, why do you let them talk to you like that? And like, yeah, Goku, be a good friend. Support your buddy. He's a good kid. Goku says, remember that rule that I just said about not using your full strength? Yeah, forget that one for this fight. Fuck that other monk guy up. Go ham.
Screw it. It was so fast. And, it's just great how the show it just flows. I love how they can just change their minds at any time they want.
You get Master Roshi perfing out real hard, and then all of a sudden he goes like, actually, you know what? I'm going to drop some good life advice on you. Bulma tries to get Yamcha's attention from a window, and a giant gross man rises up to meet them instead. Bulma panics and falls, prompting every dope in the vicinity to gawk up her skirt while Puar is latched to her face. This is
Puar would not let go. And Bulma just pulls Puar off. It's like, why did you let go? It's like, I grab when I get scared.
Yeah. Like, that in and of itself is really funny, but it stood out to me because Oolong is kind of like going, he blocks her legs from all the onlookers going like, hey, come on, back off, yo. And I'm just like, wow, Oolong's got a character development, no matter how brief that was. He's like, hey, this isn't for you to see.
But he ends up looking anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried.
But it's fine. He tried.
They go to cool off. With some ice cream, and make mention that Master Roshi had wandered off somewhere, but Bulma's more interested in seeing about the fight. She doesn't care about that dirty old man. Oolong says that he won't be stepped on anymore, but Bulma says that she was planning on taking him to the candy store, and he replies with, "Aw, baby." Oolong likes candy. He can be persuaded with candy. Krillin's fight begins, and he's having these like PTSD-like reactions when he goes up against this guy. Like he's shaking, he's panting, he can't like look straight at him, and you feel bad for him. And right when you think that he's gonna lock up, the first punch is thrown, and Krillin just jumps out of the way, like his body's reacting on its own, and he throws a counter kick to the monk's gut so hard he goes flying through the wall, shoots past Bulma, and crashes into the wall outside. He gets his shit rocked, and I am here for it. Thankfully, with this hole in the wall, Bulma can see like through it and see all the fighting and doesn't have to use Oolong as a stool. And he's a little upset that he's not going to go to the candy store anymore. They're able to watch Yamcha's fight just in time, as he's up against this mohawked karate dude. He reminds me kind of like one of the Jacks from from Tekken. Like Jack 5.
Wait, hold on. I think if you search him up right now, in game, he stands like him too.
Where he's got like that squat.
Kind of the squat,
yeah,
and both arms kind of up.
Wait a minute. Was this the inspiration for Jack?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the stance you take when you got that kind of build.
Well, I mean, he's got the mohawk and everything. I don't know.
He does have the mohawk.
Something to think about. One thing is, yes, he's also a giant, and there's all these giant dudes in Dragon Ball, and the Ox King doesn't seem so special for it anymore. There was the giant bear, there's the giant ox, there's all these giant fighters that, even Yamcha has to jump and kick in the face. Mm-hmm. The Karate Man says, he'll give Yamcha a freebie, and in one kick, Yamcha lays him out so hard, like he is just out, like. So Yamcha gets to move on, and what luck, all the main characters are moving ahead in the tournament. How convenient for us, the viewer. A short montage of fights starts up, and Goku beats this one dude with one kick. Krillin gets the shit beat out of him by a Bruce Lee stand-in. Like, he just keeps stomping on him, and, like, of course it doesn't do shit. And
Do you listen to how he talks, too?
This is the one that I'm gonna skip over.
Alright.
Yes, it's very stereotypical, like,
Be water, my friend.
I'm gonna compare it to, like, you know, have you ever seen, like, a propaganda cartoon, like, back when Looney Tunes, like, Looney Tunes would do, like, World War II propaganda videos, and it's like, oh, you know, buy war bonds and support our troops and stuff like that, and they would be like, oh, you gotta fight against our enemies, and they would do, like, caricatures of Japanese people.
No, personally I haven't, but I
They
do know
like
that
this.
cartoons did do that. Really?
They talk like this. So yes.
Propaganda. What an interesting thing.
Look what it's done to our children's cartoons. Yes, the Bruce Lee guy doesn't do shit to Krillin, and he stands up, he's like, nice try, and he gets so scared he just forfeits. He's like, that was my Dragon Stomp attack, and it just didn't do anything? Okay, I'm out. Fuck this. Yamcha is the first to make it to the finals, and he gets into a fight with a wolf man.
Now, is this cultural appropriation, or is this species appropriation?
He says something like, I'll show you my wolf fang fist, and he's like, oh wow, you humans come up with the dumbest names for your attacks. I'll show you how a real wolf does it. I was like, good. Fucking great pairing. All these fights, they go by in the blink of an eye, but this one has some flash. There's some good parallels since Yamcha has the Wolf Fang Fist. The wolf is doing, like, similar kinds of attacks. But eventually, Yamcha takes a knee and they go, is Yamcha hurt? But of course he's fine. The wolf topples over and he turns around and he's like, I'm the best fucking fighter here, yeah.
I got just a really small chill when they did do that cross. I really like the blue and yellow like aura that they had on each character before they crossed.
Yeah,
I did appreciate that.
we're still in early Dragon Ball, so characters don't have auras. You know, when people think of Dragon Ball, they'll think of like, oh, Goku's floating in the sky and he's charging, and you know he's got that fire, that yellow energy coming off of him constantly. That just doesn't happen here. And it's anytime you do see it, it looks different. So yeah, it does look really cool. It has almost an electric glow to it. It looks more like magic than it does fire. Goku's final opponent tries to get a read on him, but since Goku's not trained in any actual fighting style, he's like, he's unguarded at all angles. He's got no technique. And then Goku just, like, chucks him out of the ring. It's all very casual. He's just like, okay, yup. Krillin's final fight is with Karate Bear, and after a single kick to the head, he holds up a little white flag and says, make the pain stop.
Man, every time I see a bear, I think about your bear.
my bear character, Bear Force 1?
Yeah, I love that character. Till this day, since you mentioned him.
Essentially, the character of Bear Force 1 is just a bear that happened to get into some, like an aviator helmet. And my story takes place in a fantastical world where there are superheroes and superpowers and all these different things can happen. So you could think that this bear has something special about it, but it's actually just a bear, and people are too afraid to fight bears. In this world of superpowered maniacs, they're just like, I'm not fighting that thing, it's a bear, are you fucking crazy?
I just love it.
It'd be like
I just
saying,
love that joke. I just love because in a fantasy world, like in Dragon Ball, you could be fighting gods, right? But
you
then a
know,
bear shows up. The reality is, you don't fight a brown bear.
that'd be like Superman. Superman's fighting up against some apocalyptic doomsday kind of character, and he beats him down. The day is saved, and then like the bad guy goes, huh, "You think I'm done? I brought reinforcements." And then this bear comes out, and Superman's like, "Oh fuck, I'm out. I gotta get out of here."
Oh man, yeah, still my favorite character. Like one of my favorite characters from your universe till this day. Especially when you drew him with the aviator jacket as well.
It's a good look. It's a good look for that bear.
Yeah.
We keep getting sidetracked tonight. What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just talking about whatever.
I like it. We're almost done. With that, all 3 of the main characters are in the final 8, leaving 5 other fighters to join them. Bulma, Puar, and Oolong are all stoked that all their friends get to make it to the finals, and this is where Master Roshi steps back into the picture. And he's happy too, but you just know that whenever they show a close-up of those sunglasses, something kooky's going on. They're really setting the stage here for the main event. This last episode, it went by pretty fast, and it's a lot of just kind of play-by-play of all these different dopes getting smacked around. They got a lot of easy wins to justify their placement in the tournament, but when it actually begins, that's when the good shit happens. It's just like the narrator says at the end of the episode, the best is yet to come. And I don't remember if I mentioned this, but before we started doing the show, before I actually got you signed on, essentially, to do this show with me, I was watching through Dragon Ball, and it was the next set of episodes, essentially, is what I was watching when I was like, oh man, this is good shit. I need to talk about this with somebody. And so I stopped myself and I'm like, all right, Phoup said that he wanted to watch Dragon Ball. And that's kind of where it was. So we're catching up to the point where I had my most recent reminder of what Dragon Ball's really like. So I'm getting excited because next week is the week that I'm going to start going back and going, oh, this is kind of new to me in the sense of it's been a few years. So it'll be... I don't have everything memorized, unlike some of the things that I've led you to believe.
I mean, it'll be a freak experience for me regardless, so you still get my impression.
But that will do it for this week's set of episodes. They're really fluffing up this tournament and making it seem important. And if you know anything about Dragon Ball as a franchise, is that they love having these tournament sagas in literally every series of the show. And I wrote down a question. How many tournaments do you think there are in OG Dragon Ball itself?
In this series itself? How many episodes were there again? Like 160?
130. 130 and some odd change.
It'd probably be too much to say that there's at least one. Well, it's either one in every arc or one in every other arc, I want to say.
So how many do you think that's going to end up being? A total?
Maybe 6?
6 total?
Including this one that we just watched.
So this one and 5 more.
Yeah.
There are a total of 3 in the entirety of original Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And just from what I'm remembering, they're all good.
Okay.
Like, they're all really good. They kind of, like you said, they kind of do the thing where they, there's the journey for the Dragon Balls, and now there's the training and the tournament, and the next one will be Goku's looking for some Dragon Balls, and they find a new kind of threat that they need to take care of, and then there's another tournament. So you're not wrong that they kind of go back and forth, but the next section or the next arc is longer than the first arc was, and they kind of break it up into whoever's kind of in charge at that moment. There's multiple characters to be mindful of. But there's more time to until we get to that point. So, of course, every week I always ask you, how do you feel about this set?
Yeah, like I said, the set, I kind of just turned my brain off because I thought it was just going to be like one of those training montage kind of deal, which is fine, you know? I was just going to just sit back, enjoy. I didn't really feel like taking notes, I'm not going to lie.
No, that's 100% fine. I don't require you to do so.
Oh, for sure. But I do like to take notes when something really makes me chuckle or just something I like.
Mm-hmm. And I feel the same way. This one is kind of more of a transitionary set of episodes. They're, like I said, they're setting the stage, and the next two sets actually are going to be the tournament.
Okay, next two sets.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the development of Krillin though so far.
He's definitely gone up a couple of ranks from small bastard man.
But I really did enjoy the little dumb jokes.
Of course.
Yeah, I always enjoy this. How do you spell X?
And of course, seeing anything with Roshi is always good. And
oh yeah, anything about Roshi is great.
They know how to spice up what could have just been a couple of training montages by making it enjoyable to watch. My follow-up question: do you think that Goku and Krillin are going to win the tournament, or is someone else going to be the champion?
At the moment, I only know that's them. So my prediction is either one of the three main characters will win, or they're going to do this thing where they're going to try to set the bar again with strength and have someone else win and make them the next goal in terms of strength. The next, like, you know what, like setting the next bar. Did they ever mention what the reward was for this tournament again?
It's a cash prize.
Okay. I just didn't remember.
And as you go into the tournament, I don't know if they actually mentioned what the prize for the tournament was, but as you go into the tournament in the next set of episodes, you're going to get introspective on certain characters and why they joined the tournament, and like, oh, I have to win because I'm going to do this.
I hope Krillin beats the shit out of those bully ass monks.
Well, he did like, get
one of them
already, and I assume, or I know that the other one that was there does not get it to the finals.
Okay.
Also, I think that if he did, he would just poop himself because Krillin totally smoked his buddy.
I am a little bit excited to see Goku and Yamcha fight if it ever gets to that point. I really want to see how much Yamcha has grown.
You'll get a good indicator of Yamcha's growth.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's all good shit. I love the tournament.
So I'm kind of just using this tournament as the way. I'm pretty sure this is probably what the tournament is used for, anyways, to just show their growth, the results, and it maybe introduce a new bar. So maybe I'm gonna guess that someone else wins, to be honest.
Okay.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it's an animal person.
An animal person gets the big win. There is an animal person that makes it to the finals. So
okay.
Whether or not they win, that's a different story.
Okay. I'll be watching those episodes.
Next time we'll be watching episodes 21 through 24, which is going to be Smells Like Trouble, all the way through to
Make It Double.
No.
Sorry, Habit. I was looking at Pokemon stuff earlier.
Smells Like Trouble and Make It Double. No, it's going all the way through to Krillin's Frantic Attack. So, whatever could that mean? Is Krillin going to make it pretty far in the tournament? We don't know.
I hope he does.
Looking ahead a little more, this is really lining up nicely to mean that after next week's episodes, there's just one more set, and then we completely end the tournament saga on that set of episodes. So it's a perfect, neat little like bow on the whole thing 2 more episodes of Goku or Go Home, and that's spent on the tournament. And then after that, it's the next arc. Really good stuff. Can't wait for... Honestly, half the fun is like I'm going through, I'm telling the story of what the episode is, and just hearing you break down in laughter of just like, oh my god, when I saw that, I thought this.
Oh, they're gonna throw me a bunch of curveballs again from like the last set. Oh.
There's a couple of things that'll happen in the next set of episodes or so. That there's a couple of characters, there's a couple of sequences, and good action. So if you were worried about there not being as much of the what the fuck kind of moments, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Do you have
my favorite moments?
Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you wish to share?
I hope the magic word piggy is used at least once in every episode.
Just like Oolong starts getting some lip with Bulma, and she's like, hey, you know what, piggy? And she's like, oh, fuck! I'm in a crowded area! All the bathrooms are used! You know, you had mentioned this before, but if I was Oolong at that point, I would just start shitting everywhere. Be like, you can't control me, I have no shame anymore. Pull on your pants, just on the ground, right in front, maintaining eye contact with Bulma, like, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? Clean it up. That's what you get. Take responsibility for your actions.
Oof. I wonder how long that joke is going to go for in this series. It's been 8 months, like you said. My final thoughts on this set was honestly, like, it was transition. It was funny. It was fun to watch, but not too much, you know? You get to learn more about the characters. And I also mentioned about the character development and character design, appreciation of how they're not perfect. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to the next set because I really want to see Yamcha fight. I want to see what he learned in 1 month, where he possibly couldn't send flowers, a postcard, or mail to Bulma.
Hey, it looks like she was the incel for that 1 month. Well, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for watching and joining us this week. It's been a lot of fun as always.
Oh yeah, it was hella fun. These are always really fun to do. It's always fun talking to Alex about just anything. Those tangents, that's pretty normal.
Yeah, that is what I've grown to expect from our friendship, and what I hope that we can grow to expect from next week's episode. So we hope to see everyone there.
All right, thanks guys. Hope you will tune in and listen to us ramble.
Alex and Phoup continue their journey to watch Dragon Ball together, but who knows how long Alex's grasp on reality will hold. How much longer until he starts confusing the real-life world with the world of Dragon Ball? The struggles continue next time on Goku or Go Home.